Human Services and Aging Committee. Today is Wednesday, June 28th, and it's currently 1:05. Can we have a roll call, please, Madam Clerk?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
Ms. Stevens. Ms. Stevens is absent at the moment. There is a quorum.
All right, Madam Clerk, is anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes, Lou.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, today I guess lots of people would talk about the air quality in our areas.
Yes,
And unfortunately, guess what I would talk about?
quality.
Air quality, way worse than this one. In the place we try to protect, at least temporarily protect, the people without stable home address. Now, I still do not understand, City of Cleveland, County of Cuyahoga County, why we keep giving ARPA funds or any other fundings to the middlemen, the developers, to create a housing which we don't know actually affordable to whom. So people without a permanent home address still stuck at a place as horrible as 2227 Payne Avenue. The air quality in that building has been way worse than what we can get outside today for more than 15 years. The building has never had air ventilation. People get in there, no matter what your health condition was, after you get in there, you keep getting sick. Myself, not only myself, I have brought some other people staying at that place from a different time with different duration coming here. They all told you that their health condition totally got compromised. The people who didn't get respiratory issues now keep getting all the respiratory issues, even without COVID-19. Seniors, of course, getting even worse situations. Within the 3 months, we do have a person, remember the photo I sent you guys with the Chinese year of rabbit decoration? That was not done by me. It was done by a very nice lady. Stay in that particular room with all the leakings. Mr. Sweeney and Mr. Ronay, they both could see when they visited the place. Her condition was so bad, the hospital said you cannot go back to the shelter. She couldn't breathe. That's how she had to send into emergency room to begin with. She was hospitalized for how many days? Even after they released her, they said, no, you cannot go back to shelter. So eventually, she could go to St. Mary's home, which is a newer place to care for the people who are ill, but they can only be referred by doctors or by hospitals. When will this be resolved? Why we cannot demolish the building to rebuild when we had actually funding to do that for? 2100 Lakeside Avenue, same problem. Structural damage from a long time ago. And also lots of the things, these structures are not helping people to get out of the homelessness. Please think about that again. You can help, please.
Thank you. Anyone else, Madam Clerk?
No, Madam Chair.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 14th meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Conwell, seconded by Miller. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you could read the first item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2023-0165, awarding a total sum not to exceed $150,000 to the Westside Catholic Center for the Resource Center and Housing Initiative from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Thank you. Who is speaking in regards to that? Please come up to the podium, state your name for the record, and present your request.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman and Council. My name is Michael Bernat. I'm the Executive Director of the Westside Catholic Center.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I was just over there, so sorry we didn't get to meet because it was under John at the time, so.
I'd be happy to have you back anytime.
All right. Please state why you, what your request is.
Sure. So in a nutshell, our mission at the Westside Catholic Center is to assist all who come in need of food, clothing, shelter, advocacy, and a path to self-sufficiency. For 46 years, our agency has existed, and we've expanded our programming to address the emerging needs of our community. That path to self-sufficiency piece was an addendum to our original mission statement in the last 15 years, as we saw increased needs for workforce opportunity, housing, and a sustainability plan for families, so that we're not just perpetuating a cycle of those experiencing homelessness, but providing solutions for a way out. What our current programming affords to us is that we do have rapid rehousing, case managers, and wraparound services, as well as workforce development and culinary training, as well as transitional shelter. A piece that we saw an opportunity for in the release of ARPA funds was to become landlords ourselves. As I'm sure many are aware, one of the biggest barriers that we have in this county for those trying to exit the cycle of homelessness is that we have a bottleneck in affordable housing, as well as landlords who truly care for the tenants and the services to support those tenants in their own tenancy to become better tenants themselves and retain housing after a subsidized program, which we offer. So this, in a way, is for us to be able to pilot a program to close the loop and become a self-sustained service within ourselves.
Do you have any other funding?
We do. We have a $150,000 award from the state capital budget to be expended by June of 2024. We also have general operating funds. Our entire revenue stream is based on government contracts, charitable giving, and private foundation grants. And if I may say for the record, we do pretty well at that and have for 46 years or so. So we have no inherent stream of revenue, nothing. Everything we offer is free of charge to clients. And in partnership with a large grant from HUD, we are in control of the rent subsidy that we currently pass along to a subrecipient as another county provider to issue those tenancy agreements. So we have all the elements in-house to make this happen.
Open up to any questions to my colleagues.
Chair.
Councilman Miller and Sweeney.
Not a question, just a comment to say that I had the opportunity to serve for 6 years as the chairperson of the Great Lakes Regional Child Abuse and Neglect Council, which covers a 4-county area. And during the time in leadership, the Westside Catholic Center was by far the best of the contract agencies that we worked with. You delivered services and put out great services and great numbers and really helped our mission. So I just want to let you know that you made a really good impression, and I believe in your work and believe in your agency and your commitment, and you not only have a very good vision, but you deliver on it, and that means a lot to me.
Thank you very much, Councilman.
Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Pretty much ditto, right? You guys do a great work. Your team is well-driven, humble, and doing God's work, and it's nice to be able to support something that has a significant impact. And keep it up, and if we can help, don't be shy.
Thank you very much.
Just not on the funding aspect of it. If there's other roles we can play.
Of course.
To help brand you the way you want to be branded.
If I may add to, we've, in our long history, we forged many community partnerships with other agencies. We don't claim to have all the answers, but I think that in our cooperation and collaboration across the county with other providers in sharing in resources and clientele, we understand the problem, we address the problem better. But I do find that we are great stewards of the funds given to us and have a long history of doing so, and I intend on perpetuating that.
I just wanted to let you know that I believe all of the ARPA dollars that are being generated will invite you back. I believe your application gives us a timeline. We'll invite you back to share how it's going, how the funding is, being able to be utilized to make your vision a reality. So just wanted to let everybody know that in the audience that you will be invited back at some time. That could be 6 months. It depends on what type of project that you have.
Sure. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Right, no problem. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just very thankful to be here today.
All right. Can I ask for a motion to move R20230165 to the full council under second reading?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Miller,
Second.
seconded by Turner. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. And just another note for the, everyone in the audience, ARPA dollars have to go 3 readings. So this, they will go through the full process. It will not be any suspension. So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Enjoy your day,
meeting you.
everyone.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you could read the next item into the record, please.
Resolution number 2023-0168, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the Near West Side Multi-Service Corporation, doing business as Meg Dugan Center, for the purpose of expanding and upgrading the Meg Dugan Center facility from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
After she reads it into the record, you can just come up, state your name.
Hi, my name is Rick Kem. I serve as the Executive Director at the May Dugan Center.
Welcome.
So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Councilwoman Conwell and fellow members. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So today we are requesting funding in the amount of $100,000 to support our renovation and expansion of the May Dugan Center located on 41st and Bridge. The mission of the May Dugan Center is to help people enrich and advance their lives and communities, and we fulfill that mission through 6 core programs. We were incorporated in 1969 and will be turning 54 years old this coming July. Last year, we served over 20,000 individuals through our 6 core programs. Over 15,000 of them participated in our food distribution program. During the pandemic, the May Dugan Center became the largest food pantry in the Cleveland Food Bank 6-county jurisdiction, and we take great pride in that. Our building is old. It's going on over like 50 years and with very few renovations. And there is no reason why low-income people should have to go into a building that needs a lot of repairs. They should feel welcomed, and because many of them, 98% of our clients live at or below the poverty level. And we want to welcome them. Many of them have had trauma during their lifespan as a result of living and growing up in poverty. And so we like to welcome them in a newly renovated building. Phase 1 is about done. We're actually getting ready to move into that renovated space. And Phase 2 demolition will start next week. And we're hoping that that will be completed in October, probably late October, early November. And then towards the end of the year, we can have a wonderful ribbon cutting celebration and have all of you join us. As of to date, during the pandemic, initially our goal was $5.5 million. Then during the pandemic, with the rising cost of materials and with inflation, our goal increased to $7.4 million. And I'm very proud to say that today we are at about $6.6 million of that goal. So every penny will help.
Any questions for my colleagues? All right. Love everything that May Dugan Center does. Everything that the director stated is so true. They work across the aisle. It's not just, and you were shy a little bit. You didn't share that you don't just work in your little silo. You reach across the across the tracks to the east side as well. Whatever you guys can do, you roll up your sleeve, and you're very helpful. So that's organizations and agencies that we need in this community, and we also need to value that a lot of these long-sustaining agencies are aging, and that we should try to roll up our sleeves and help renovate, repair, renew, whatever that word is, because the work that you guys do every day helps us, So definitely a community partner, and I hope this goes toward, I know the county has given some money before, so if any of my colleagues would like to share some of their funds toward this, it's a very good endeavor. If you haven't been over there, I know Councilman Sweeney and Miller definitely probably have visited the center, but anyone else, please. And anyone in the audience that would like to participate and share money. This
Councilwoman
is,
Turner is more than welcome.
more than worthy to go over and see the renovations. I was shocked. I've seen it before, and I see the progress, and so I'm very glad that the community, private, public, is putting dollars toward this agency, because you guys do great work.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate all of the support that you've given.
All right. Anything else anyone would like to share?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to mention there has been a lot of progress over a long period of time. I used to be a special education teacher at Joseph Gallagher Middle School. I visited on multiple occasions, so I just want to congratulate you on the expanded vision of Maydugan. You do great work. Thank you.
Thank you. I did want to mention that our Trauma Recovery Center and our food distribution program has reached out to all the districts throughout Cuyahoga County, as well as all the Cleveland Council wards.
And I know you were very instrumental in helping with one of my initiatives when we were plagued with COVID and getting testing and things of that nature. So thank you again for that.
You're welcome.
I'd like to open it up, R202300168. Is there a motion to move it to full council?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Sweeney, seconded by Miller. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you very much.
Madam Clerk, if you could read the next item into the record.
Resolution number 2023-0170, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to Front Steps Housing and Services for the electronic health record to support housing stability and behavioral health services to prevent homelessness program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
All right, thank you.
Hi, thank you, County Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell and committee for having us today. I am Sherry Brandon, the CEO of Front Steps Housing and Services. We provide behavioral health services to individuals who are chronically homeless, as well as individuals who are residing in our permanent supportive housing project, St. Joseph Commons, which we recently, three-year-old project. It's a three-year-old 68 one-bedroom facility in Ohio City on West 25th, just a half a mile down from where we used to be, which is 1545 West 25th, the old transitional housing project. And so we are here today. We have been in existence for about 37 years, providing services to critically populations in the homeless community. And so we shifted to permanent supportive housing and behavioral health services. And so we are asking today for $75,000 to forward our behavioral health program. We provide mental health services in forms of assessments. We provide art therapy. We provide music therapy. We also provide mental health case management, intensive drug and alcohol treatment, counseling, and other therapeutic modalities within our site. Our services are not just to individuals who reside at St. Joseph Commons, but we also service the community at large. We have seen, since we've moved in our new facility, a large need for behavioral health. And so as we expand our services in the community, we realize that we are in need of a a better technology system. Technology is how we collaborate services. Technology is how we are able to really service our clients, but also the data that we collect and which informs the services that we provide. And so we are here to offer that services to a greater level of people.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Brandon? Councilman Sweeney?
Oh, I'm so sorry. There is a video that we
okay.
wanted to share with you all.
Go right ahead.
I literally fell into this work. Literally driving down the street and saw homelessness, and something touched my heart at that moment. And when I did get into the field, I loved it. My name is Sherry Brandon. I am the CEO of Front Steps Housing and Services. It is so rewarding. It is very rewarding for me because you see a person move from not just having a home, but able to change their lives, to live their lives to the best of their ability.
Living here at Front Step Housing is very exciting, fun. We have a very good program. We got music therapy, art therapy, we got a garden program. These programs help with sobriety, communication, relationships. We have a good pantry here. We have a very good staff of people here that works very long, very good with us people in this building.
I love working in this population. When I go home at night, I sleep because I know that my residents are safe.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman, Madam CEO. The first event I ever went to as a Cuyahoga County Council was your place. Did the ribbon cutting. I've been here 3 years, remember? And St. Joseph's Center, and I'm a Martin Joseph, so it's another connection. And it seems to be going in the right direction. You told me it was going to be good, and guess what? It's going good. So the technology is an aspect. I wouldn't mind stopping by and getting another glimpse of it sometime, the 3-year review. So maybe sometime after the 4th, you give me a holler and I'll come by. Would that be cool? Thank you. And we'll see what we can do, okay? Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
So this electronic health record, it's sort of like in the construction world, something that's considered a soft cost. So it's something that will probably be very hard for the county to assist with on a regular basis. So I'm so very fortunate that we did have the ARPA funds that we were able to direct to specific projects within each of our county districts that could actually help. Things that we couldn't probably fund other ways, but so I'm very happy that this soft cost would be able, because it's not only going to help your agency, but it's going to have a connection to the whole homeless continuum. So,
It will.
so it's very utilized. So I would like to open it up on the floor for R20230170 to the full council. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Sweeney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, and I am willing to host anyone who want to come and visit our new facility. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you can read the next item, please.
Resolution number 2023-0171, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland for the Community Recovery from COVID-19 one-time capital investment for legal aid project from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Good afternoon. I'm Colleen Cotter. I'm proud to serve as the Executive Director of the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland, and I'm here with my colleague Roz Corto, our Director of Strategic Initiatives. So I'm here today to talk about this proposal, but also to talk a little bit about the Legal Aid Society. You have a right to an attorney. We've all heard this, right? We know the Miranda rights because we see it on TV every week. Lots of shows depicting the importance of people having a lawyer by their side if they are accused of a crime. Important for that our Constitution provides that. Our Constitution, however, does not provide a right to an attorney if you are losing your housing or your income or your children or safety. And that's where the Legal Aid Society comes into play. There is no constitutional right in most civil cases, and that's where legal aid does our work. We resolve issues that hold families back and entire communities back from opportunity, and only then can the justice system actually work. And do I control it or do you control it? I'm sorry. Oh, is it this one? I should have asked you this before this one? Our mission at the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland is to secure justice, equity, and access to opportunity for and with people with low income through passionate legal representation and advocacy for systemic change. And our vision, and I suspect it's a vision shared by all of you, is that Northeast Ohio will be a place in which all people experience dignity and justice, free from poverty and oppression. That's where we want to be. And in pursuit of that vision, we're here today to talk about our need for capital investment. We have a budget of $575,000 total. I'm not really asking for all of that, although if you provided it, I wouldn't turn it down. For a number of things that are one-time investments really needed because of the pandemic. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. So we have a theory of change at the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland. I think all organizations have a theory of change. We don't just do our work, we do our work because we think it will change something in an individual's life or in a community. And our theory of change is this, that if we put in resources into our staff and our volunteers to provide access to justice for people with low income, we prevent bad things from happening. We prevent the eviction. We prevent the loss of education. And then those individuals who've been at that turning point in their life are more solid in their experience. They stay in their home. They invest in their neighborhood. They get to know their neighbors. They're part of the block club. They feel empowered to vote, to engage in the community at large. And our entire community benefits from that intersection at the very beginning as a result of that ripple effect. At Legal Aid, we serve people at or below 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. We have 130 staff members, 75 of us are attorneys, and a few years ago, those numbers would have been lower. We have grown in the last few years to meet the incredible need in our community. Folks at 200% of the federal poverty guidelines, that means for a family of four, about $60,000 a year. As you know, if you make $60,000 a year and you're a family of four, there's no way that you can afford to purchase the services of an attorney when you're faced with one of these critical life issues. And last year, in 2022, we served over 21,000 people through 8,000 cases, and that's a 30% increase since pre-COVID numbers. So the demands the need for our services just keep increasing, and the pressures on our clients with inflation and rising housing costs also keep increasing. Which leads me to our request today. So we have a $575,000 capital budget, as I said, that includes a number of things, again, one-time expenses. And in some ways, they're sort of mundane. I'm jealous that, some folks are talking about building renovation, and that's a little bit more exciting. We're talking about things like copy machines. As you can imagine, in a law office, copy machines are pretty darn important, and our copy machines are on their last legs. we have to replace them. We also need to invest in our technology, replacing technology, enhancing technology. One of the pieces on the technology, for example, is to enhance our ability to communicate via text with our client communities, to be able to gather outcome information, what difference did we make in your life, and also to get feedback about ongoing issues. We also, the third item is, as a result of our growth, we've expanded into more space, office space, and that requires a significant investment, again, one-time costs of furniture and other equipment to actually build out that space and have people occupy it. Which leads me back to what we do in Cuyahoga County. So our focus, again, we represent individuals in civil matters, and the areas in which we practice they improve safety and health, increasing access to health care, helping survivors of domestic violence. We promote economic security and education, helping children with special needs access what they need to succeed in school, accessing public benefits, removing barriers to employment. We secure stable and decent housing, preventing evictions and foreclosures, and addressing lead issues and other housing conditions issues. And we improve accountability and accessibility of government agencies and our courts. And support from County Council is very much appreciated in general, and would be very much especially appreciated for this capital investment, which will move us forward.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none. Anything else you'd like to add, Director?
Nothing more, thank you.
All right, I know you guys do great work, especially for the veterans and all the citizens that need legal assistance at the time that they need it. So I'd like to move R2023-0171 to the full council under second reading. Is there a second?
Second. Sweeney.
Moved by Conwell, seconded by Sweeney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, if you could read the last item into the record.
Resolution number 2023-0174, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to the Community of Hope for the HOPE program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
So nice. Thank you for having us, and thank you for considering us. Community Hope is a nonprofit organization that...
State your name for the record.
I'm sorry, forgot that. My name is Beverly Johnson. I'm the Director for Community of Hope. This is Denise Edie, and she's our administrative executive. We work with a small organization called Community of Hope, and it's been in existence since 2014. And what we do is we work with young people that have been touched by foster care or emancipated from foster care. As we all know, when most young people emancipate from foster care, they have no safety net. They have nobody to support them. Unlike our children, when they're 18 and they think they're grown and they think they know everything, if something happens, they can come back home. Unfortunately, these young people have nowhere to go. So oftentimes they fall prey to human trafficking, they fall prey to drugs, they fall prey to incarceration, early pregnancies. A number of things happen to them, and above all, most of the time they become homeless. So what Community Hope does, we create communities for them. We create that connection, and we have volunteers that wrap themselves around these young people and help them navigate life and help them and teach them the life skills that they've not been taught during their young lives. So we create these communities, about 3 or 4 people, and they wrap themselves around this young person and they walk with them. They bring a multiplicity of social capital, connections, networking, so they can help the young people navigate life and steer them toward being self-sufficient and also make them productive individuals in our society. So what we do is we get our number of young people from Children Family Services, we get them from the YWCA, we get them from Fill This House, we get them from a number of places, even high schools. We get the young people, and the young persons has to be headed towards self-sufficiency, they have to either be in school or working or both, and they have to be stably housed. This shows us that they're already started toward self-sufficiency. We're not trying to enable them, we're trying to empower them. But above all, we want to restore to them the dignity and the respect that they've not had while they were in foster care. We want to give them some security and make them feel that they're visible and not invisible. So we have a slide that we want to kind of show you a little bit about our young people.
I went kayaking for the first time. I had yoga classes. I've never done that. I've done cooking classes. And just all around support, definitely.
If you're really, wanting to make a change or a difference in your life, and maybe even with the others around you, because the Community of Hope is an exchange, to try it and go for it.
Definitely just try it. Sometimes it could be uncomfortable just bringing a group of people you don't know into your life, but this is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So I would definitely say just give it a try. Open your horizons and just see how it'll turn out.
It's worth it. It really is. It's a leap. It's definitely a leap for where you're coming from, but have faith.
So those are just some of the comments from our young people that are involved in Community of Hope. We want to expand their horizons, things they haven't done as a child, things that our children take for granted. A lot of them have never had a birthday party. A lot of them have never even, like he said, been kayaking or even just been around people or gone to a theater. So we try to broaden their horizons and show them things that they've never seen before. But above all, we want to show them how to be self-sufficient, financial literacy, showing them how to budget their money, and above all, showing them how to keep their houses. A lot of them didn't know that you don't put plastic in microwaves or in the oven. So we had a couple of fires. But these are the things that our kids take for granted because they learn, they have been nurtured. These kids have been nourished, but they've never been nurtured. And this is what we want to do. We have volunteers that are committed, that are vested, and they pay money to be part of Community Hope. They pay $120 to be a part of a community. And that's not because we necessarily need their money. We want to show the young people that somebody thinks enough of them to invest in their lives. And that's a game changer for the young people because they tell us, you mean somebody thought I was worth saving? You mean somebody thought I was worth investing into? And so that changes the whole trajectory for the young person. And it helps them to be open to people coming into their lives, bringing not only trust, friendship, relationship, community, and eventually extended family. Our longest community is 10 years old. We don't have an end date. They can stay with the community as long as the young person chooses to stay with the community because we found out if the first program we had, it was like a year, and after 6 months, the young people stopped coming because they were feeling abandoned, and they were saying, okay, they're gonna leave me anyway, so I'll leave them first. So we decided that we were not gonna have an end date. So we don't have an end date. They can stay in community with their people as long as the people want to be with them and they want to be with the people. So when it starts out, they meet once a week so they can build up trust, they can build up a friendship, they can build up a relationship, a community, and then an extended family. They have somewhere to go at Christmas time, they have somewhere to go at Thanksgiving, they have somebody to celebrate their birthdays, they have somebody to talk to when they have crisis, so they're not alone. And we give them a voice. This is the first time some of them have voice and choice. Most of the time, they've always had somebody dictate to them. And we give them an opportunity to have a voice, and the people that wrap themselves around them give them an opportunity to grow and express themselves. It may not always be good, but part of the condition of being in a community is that you have to be open and willing to hear constructive criticism and be willing to grow. And that's what they do. So they meet once a week for an hour, the first 6 months to a year, to build build up that trust to take down those barriers. And then once that happens, then they meet when they want to. So it's a win-win situation, like one of the young ladies said, because the people that are involved in their lives, they expand their horizons. Some of them, if they're not been part of a community, would not go outside their neighborhoods or that space that they've created for themselves, but they extend themselves, and they tell us, one lady said it was like the young man that came in her life was like going through her curated cabinet and breaking all her china, because she had her life set up in such a way. And we all do that. We think everything should have a pattern, and these young people don't necessarily have a pattern. So they come into your lives, they teach you, you teach them, they have a friendship and a relationship with you, and they also have a relationship with the volunteers. The volunteers meet people that they've never met before. We have communities with Jewish ladies and black ladies where they've come together. They put their differences aside for the common good of the young person, and they've been together 6-8 years. So when they have children, they bring them in. They broaden the children's horizons. So it's a organization, and it's a relationship that's far past any of them. We've been together since 2014. We have approximately 90 communities, and they're going strong.
Share a little bit about Amber's Night of Hope.
Amber's Night, well, our executive director was Amber Donovan. This was her baby. I was the midwife. So and we started having community Night of Hope in 2019. And that was a way for us to earn extra money, to try to create extra funding for the young people. After Amber passed, I decided to change to Amber's Night of Hope. And it's generally in March. We have 100 women's voice choir, and we raise money for the young people. This year was the first time I had a youth choir. And so everybody said they wanted the youth choir back. But it's our way of broadening their horizons, bringing them in the front of people so they don't have a fear, opening to the public what we're doing in terms of changing these young people's lives and impressing their lives and their children's lives. But we have it every year. We're planning for next year already. And so we're trying to have, because it's the 5th year, we still want to honor Amber always because it was her baby, and we want to keep her name alive, and we want to keep the spirit in which she created Community Hope alive. We're not interfaith organization. We believe in faith. Part of organization we were with before didn't want to have the faith component. That's why we pulled away from them, because we wanted to keep the faith component, and we wanted to have not a time limit, and we wanted to involve trauma engagement, because most of our kids have experienced so much trauma in their lives. It was mandatory that we had a trauma-engaged organization. So we have counselors that we have partnered with. So when our young people have mental breakdowns, we have somebody that they can go talk to. So we want to pull all that in, and all that's a part of creating this kind of community that helps the young person be all that they can be. Our young people tell us all the time, this is not a program, because a program I can get kicked out of. They can't get kicked out of this. Regardless of what they do, we bring them back because they haven't been loved. And when they see that we're going to come back regardless, they come back and apologize, and we keep moving. So we just want to extend that love and affection and nurturing to them that they've never had, so they can be positive. And they say all the time that we're not victims. We're not victims, we're not villains, we're not heroes, we're authors. We're authors of our own stories. And we're going to craft a way to tell it our way and make something out of our lives. And I admire that, because they don't consider themselves victims, but they are authors of their own destiny and their own story.
Thank you, thank you. Any questions?
No, just a comment through
Yes,
the
ma'am.
chair. I had an opportunity to attend a concert earlier this year. Councilwoman Conwell. It was beautiful. I keep seeing your shoes flashing in my head because they were sharp. But no, you do amazing work, and I would like to add my name. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We wanted to use these funds because our young people are constantly in crisis, and especially since the pandemic, and we don't want them to ever be homeless. So if they call us and say they can't afford their rent, we're not going to allow them to be homeless, but at the same time, we're not going to enable them. So we make arrangements how we can pay their rent, but in other words, they have to do something to afford that. So we'll make sure that they get food, we'll make sure that their children are clothed. We're not going to allow their children to be raggedy or walking around hungry. So we take care of all of that. So this money will help us with our emergency fund. So when these crises come up, and we've had quite a few for the last 2-3 months, but we want to make sure that the cycle isn't repeated. That's our biggest goal. We don't want the next generation to be in foster care. We want their parents to learn how to do better so they can do better by their kids, so their kids can grow from here. We have so many success stories. We have one young lady that's a social worker. She graduated. We have 3 or 4 kids working at the YWCA. One's a case manager. The couple of people that you saw in the film, they're working at the YWCA. So we have a lot of success stories where the young people have gone from Community Hope, or they haven't gone, they're still here. But they're kind of like archived because we don't have to see them every week. But they're doing great things. And the great part about it, the one young lady, Kai, she's working with A Place for Me, and she's doing the same thing that people did for her. She's been an advocate for the foster kids. So, yes,
I can't remember right now how I came about your organization, but I made a meeting right away and came down and was pleasantly surprised and was able to, as Councilwoman Turner stated, the annual fundraiser. So and learning about Amber and her vision, and got to meet her family, who was just reeling from the loss of her this year, but. Just awesome in what you guys do, and finding out that it's, that the county also contracts in other ways. And so I'll make sure that I'm an advocate that will always look out for that contract. Just knowing, even though we've been here for years, we learn every day something new that we already partner and do. And so just wanted to help any way that I could for the youngsters, because you don't have a parent or a support system, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Especially today, 18 to 30. When I look back at just some years ago when it was me and my husband starting out, things were different. There was so many other opportunities. You could get Pell Grants, you could get in school. There was, the steel mills. There were, the young kids today, it's very limited to the arenas that they can go in. So we need to nurture kids and help kids, whether we birth them or not. And I've always said that in this community. So very thankful and being able to show my support in some way that I can for this organization. So
we certainly appreciate it.
Can someone make a motion for R2023-0174 to the full council under second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Sweeney. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I don't know when staff will keep you updated when it passes final reading.
Thank you so much.
I believe they'll make it
We'll keep you updated for the next concert.
Yes.
All right.
And anything else, anything else.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right, we have all matters that were referred to the committee are taken care of. We have a presentation from the Cleveland Clinic Tossing Cancer Institute. We will have today a Community Outreach and Patient Navigation Program. Kimberly Sanders, which is the director, come up and present to us. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm not sure the PowerPoint up. Oh, okay. Again, my name is Kimberly Sanders. I'm the Director of Community Outreach and Patient Navigation for Tulsa Cancer Institute. I am here today just to ask for your help in sharing the word about what we do around education and cancer screening for the community, specifically the underinsured and uninsured. Okay, thank you. The green button? Over here? Yep, thank you. So our purpose of the department is to serve high-risk opportunity people in the community. Most of these people we serve are underinsured and uninsured that need cancer screening. And we know that people are not getting in and getting screened, be that for mammograms or colonoscopy, prostate screening, specifically African Americans. Black people are dying much too soon because they're not getting their cancer screening in time. We work within zone areas, zip codes that specifically say that this area has a high rate of late-stage breast cancer. And so we have to get in there and get these women in and get them screened for mammograms. And so the way we have to do that is by the help of the county, we partner with many partners to help us spread the word. So if anyone that you come in contact says, hey, you know, I need a cancer screening, you know you can call our department and get that person in for screening. This is our team. So we have a team. I am the director. We have Nashima Anderson, who came with me. She is the navigation manager. We have program managers and we have navigators. So our program managers are the ones that's out in the community, meeting stakeholders, community leaders, spreading the word about screening, cancer screening. And navigators are in the office actually navigating each and every patient throughout the system, through the continuum of care. For instance, if someone comes in to get a mammogram, we are going to follow that person through the entire continuum of care. So if she gets a mammogram and she needs follow-up, she needs a diagnostic, we're going to make sure she gets that diagnostic. If she needs a biopsy, we're going to make sure she gets that. We're going to follow her through the continuum of care. Unfortunately, if she is diagnosed with breast cancer, we're going to continue to follow her and make sure that this person is taken care of through the entire continuum of care. Community outreach mission. Our mission is sponsored by Dr. Ajay, who is our new chairman for Tulsa Cancer Institute. And we're very fortunate in our community outreach department. We now have a nurse practitioner, a clinician that works with us. So when those results come back, we have someone that's working with us that can call that person and help to get them in and get them back in for screening. And our goal is always to educate. Educate, educate, educate. And that's what I'm here today, just to ask you all to help us to educate the community. We don't have to die like this. We don't. The help is there, but we have to bring people in, and that's what we want. Today, I just want you all to know that Cleveland Clinic is open to helping the community, to getting people in and getting them screened. We will cover the fee. If you cannot cover it, we know there's still many people out here that do not have health insurance. We receive philanthropic dollars to help cover that. We don't want to send those dollars back. And so today my plea is to please help us spread the word about the cancer screening that we can provide. And I won't go all deep into statistics, but there are additional 28 million people considered uninsured. So there's still, and I know you guys know all about this, there's many people out there that are still without health insurance. And some of the programs we have are Pink and Beyond. That's a program for women, mammograms, getting screened for mammograms. We have For Men Only. We do a lot of work with the federally qualified health centers. And so as you know, none of the FQACs actually provide mammogram screenings or colonoscopy. So we've partnered with them, and they send their patients right over to us to get them screened, and we send them back. Get Behind Your Health, that is our program around colonoscopy screening. We found that the amount of African Americans that are not getting in for their colonoscopy screening is astronomical, and we want to change that. We want to get people in and get them screened. So we ask for your help. And that's where we need the most help from the county and community leaders, stakeholders, to help us spread the word that there is help here. There is help at Cleveland Clinic. There's help in the Cancer Institute to get people in and get them screened. Any questions?
Yeah, I know you stated when I sat down and met with you, you guys are going to have a symposium or something? Do you wanna
Yes.
share that information?
Yes, thank you so much, and I will send it in and hope to be able to share it as well. Yes, so we will have a symposium, a cancer symposium on October 12th. And I believe that is a weekday. That's a Thursday, October 12th. We are really asking for you all to please come out if you can, spread the word. I'll be sending out the information. It's all about social determinants of health. And we're all faced with it, and we got some really great speakers to come in, and hopefully we can make some really great decisions together to help our community. Any more questions?
Councilman Miller?
So, Madam Chair, to the representative, what's your name again?
Kimberly Sanders.
Yeah, to Ms. Sanders, thank you very much for coming out, and you have no idea how hard it is to deal with the healthcare system as we have today, even if you have insurance, let alone if you don't.
Yeah.
You know, the information we need is that suppose that there's somebody out there that that got enough information to say, well, maybe I need some screening. Well, what would they do? Where would they go? Who do they call? Do they just show up at the clinic and go in the front door and say, I need a cancer screening, or do they call some phone number and probably get on hold for a long time? How does someone actually do this?
You know what? That's a really great question, and that is exactly why I'm here, because it is hard to get people in, and it is a web to go through to get in and get screening. And so that's why we do the work that we do to make it as easy as possible for people to get in. So what I'll do is leave my information where you can call directly to our office. The person that answers the phone is the person that's going to get you scheduled for your cancer screening. If say for instance, your question is if you just went into main campus and you said you needed a cancer screening, they would not lead you directly to us unless once they found out you needed further assistance, like you didn't have health insurance or you're underinsured. So, but if they came directly to us, if they called directly to our office, because our office is all about serving the community. So we would get you in directly and schedule for that appointment. And you're absolutely right. It is very difficult to get in and to get screened. It takes a lot of patience to go through several hoops of getting in.
So, we have to find some way so that there's not so many hoops. I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of hoops to go through, and that's our office. You can get directly in. So I want to share my information. I'll leave cards with you all, and that's what I ask, is that you help us to spread the word about, hey, well, I know where you can call and get directly in and get scheduled for your screening. Yeah. Any more questions?
No, make sure that, I believe it was Sharon or especially Levine that connected with you to
Yes.
schedule your presentation. Make sure that as soon as you guys know the information for the symposium, I know we talked a little bit about it. I don't know how in-depth you would like the colleagues to be. And it's just going to be at a central location, I know.
Yes, it will be at the Intercontinental.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know they do have some that are outside in the communities, just was wondering if it was gonna be extended to that, but.
Yeah. It will be at the Intercontinental, and definitely you're going to hear from me again and again about it because I definitely want you all to come. We had one last year, it was great, but I want to see more leaders of the community to be there to hear this conversation, and we work together to hopefully solve some of these issues that we have in the community. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, take care.
All right. Any miscellaneous business? All right. Hearing none, seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.